Hi ladies. So this month we are talking about the price is right, specifically the investments that are necessary to do whatever it takes to wholeheartedly walk in our God-given calling. And today we're going to talk about one of the biggest investments and really one of the biggest stumbling blocks where people make the choice and say, yeah, I can't invest that. I'm just not going to be able to walk in my calling. And that is the investment of finances. And having grown up in the church all of my life, I have heard it over and over again. So many people saying, but I can't afford it, to excuse everything from not being able to walk in their calling, to not being able to give, to not being able to tithe, to just not being able to do anything that God has called them to do because of finances. And yet, even though I am a huge believer in being fiscally responsible, I mean, we do the Crown money management principles, and I believe in living on a budget and following biblical principles and not, living within your means and not overspending. Even though I believe all of that, I am an even larger believer that there is no greater investment that you can make than investing in the kingdom of God. And I truly believe that when God calls you to do something, it is disobedience if you say, I don't have the money. Instead, I believe we need to take the time and really look at our finances. I mean, really take a good hard look at them and find if there is any way possible, any means necessary that we can do what God is calling us to do. What can we cut out? What can we cut back? Where can we sacrifice? Where can we take a leap of faith, knowing that investing in God's kingdom and following God's will is the most important thing in our lives? And I'll be honest with you and say these are just not words for us, but this is something that Jamie and I have had to do over and over again in our lives. I mean, I shared the story earlier of the time that God was calling us to start mentors, and we had to literally take our emergency fund and use that to start up the ministry. And why did we do it? I mean, I could have easily said, hey, we don't have the money to do this. We're not doing it. But instead, we knew that answering God's call and being obedient to Him was the most important thing. And that if God has called you to do something, He will provide. And over again, we have had to make financial sacrifices, go without things, make adjustments to our lifestyle to be able to say, you know what? It's not about me. It's not about money. I mean, we're not living irresponsibly, and we are making adjustments to how we live so that we can also obey financial principles. But over and over again, we've had to make the choice to say, it's not about money. It's about following Jesus. And if following Jesus means I have to make an investment financially in God's kingdom, then whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. And today I want to challenge you. What is God asking you to do? And what financial obstacle seems to be standing in your way saying, I can't do it? Take a look and say, is there any possible way? Is there any way you can make a change? Is there any way that God can provide? And then determine that when it comes to the kingdom of God and following your God-given calling, the price is always right. And then do whatever it takes to make the investment in finances and fulfill your God-given calling.